Have you ever looked at your FPS counter? 165, 200, 240, even 300 FPS, yet the game still feels slow. Your aim feels heavy, your edits feel delayed, and something just feels off. Today I'm going to explain why high FPS can still feel slow, and more importantly, how to fix it properly. And no, this isn't about buying a better GPU. FPS is not responsiveness. Here's the first truth most people get wrong. High FPS does not automatically mean low input delay. FPS only tells you how many frames your GPU is rendering per second. It does not tell you when your input is registered, when the frame is displayed, or how long the full pipeline takes. Think of it like this. FPS equals how fast frames are produced. Latency equals how long it takes your action to reach the screen. You can have 200 FPS with terrible latency and 120 FPS that feels insanely responsive. This is why your game looks smooth but feels slow. The real cause: input latency stacking. Input delay isn't one setting, it's a stack. Here's what's actually happening every time you click your mouse. Mouse hardware latency, USB polling delay, CPU scheduling delay, GPU render queue, display scan out delay. If even one of these is poorly configured, the entire system feels sluggish. And the biggest offender, render queue and synchronization settings. Uncapped FPS is making it worse. This is where most players mess up. They think more FPS equals better feel, so they uncap FPS, but here's the problem. Uncapped FPS often floods the render queue. That causes frame to wait in line, which increases input latency. This is why the game looks smooth, but aiming feels delayed. The fix: cap your FPS 3 to 5 FPS below your refresh rate. Examples: 144 Hz, cap it at 140. 165 Hz, cap it at 160. 240 Hz, cap it at 235. This keeps the render queue empty and input responsive. This one change alone can make your games feel instantly faster. VSync and G-Sync misconfiguration. Let's clear this up once and for all. Bad setup: VSync on in game, no FPS cap, G-Sync enabled incorrectly. This adds massive input lag. Correct setup for low latency: VSync off in game, VSync on in NVIDIA control panel, G-Sync on, FPS cap below refresh rate. Why? G-Sync handles tearing, VSync prevents frame overflow, FPS caps keeps latency low. This combo gives you smooth motion, no tearing, lowest latency possible. CPU bottlenecks feel like input lag. Here's another reason high FPS can feel slow. CPU limitation: when your CPU can't keep up, frames arrives inconsistently, input gets delayed, mouse movement feels floaty. Even if FPS is high, signs of CPU bottlenecks, stutters during fights, FPS drops when building editing, 1% lows feel terrible. Fixes: low CPU heavy settings, shadow, view distance, enable low latency mode on or ultra, close background apps, make sure your game runs in exclusive full screen. Mouse and Windows latency settings. Now let's fix the hidden window delays. Do this: disable enhanced pointer precision, set mouse polling rate to 1000 Hz, enable game mode, disable Xbox game bar recording, use high performance or ultimate performance power plan. These don't boost FPS, but they cut input delay. That's why games suddenly feel snappier. Why pros feel faster at lower FPS? Ever notice pros sometimes play at 144 FPS, 165 FPS, and still looks insanely responsive? Because stable frame pacing, proper FPS caps, minimal render queue, optimized latency path, consistency beats raw FPS every time. Conclusion. So if your high FPS feels slow, remember this: FPS equals responsiveness. Latency is what you feel. Fix your FPS cap, sync settings, render queue, CPU bottlenecks, Windows input delay, and your game will feel instantly faster even at low FPS. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe, and comment what FPS you're playing at. I'll tell you the best cap for your setup. More latency breakdown guides coming up next. Alright guys, have a great day.